You already know what this is. The warm-up. I'm your boy Jay. So happy you're here. Feeling good. Who's feeling blessed? Happy to be here. A lot of things to talk about. Per usual. Per usual. First, I want to say, happy Sunday. This is week 7, round 7, episode 7. Let's do this. Everybody checking in. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to be seen. We got some signings. We got some injuries. We got some picks. We got news. Welcome to everybody who's here for the first time. Everybody that's been here since day one, y'all know what this is. But if you don't, this is Designated Reports, pregame NFL show, weekly. Just pull up. Discuss any issue, any topic. I'll lead the conversation. Jump in, raise your hand. Whatever you want to do, I'll dial you up. Dial me up. If you disagree, let me know. Hang out in the chat. Hit us in the comments when we post this up. Like it's... Comments already live. Comments already live. So blessed. Today, our playlist will be Jazzy Faye. You remember Jazzy Faye? Every week we got a soundtrack going. Man, something hit me. I just wanted something funky. I wanted some ATL. And that's what we're going to do this week. Turning it up. I know what everybody wants to talk about first. But I want to talk about something that was kind of old news by now, but still needs to be talked about. Does anybody know what time it is? I know the warm-up starts at 12:30 on Sundays, but it's Tua time, baby. It's Tua time, baby, in Miami. He got picked 5th overall. You knew he was going to play. You knew he was going to play. Ladies and gentlemen. We didn't know when the time was going to be, but Fitz knew he was a placeholder. He told you that. That was his phrase. He knew that he was just hanging out, playing ball, doing what he loved in his 17th year, 16th, 17th year. But he knew that he was just holding the spot and holding it down, mentoring the young buck before he comes in and does this thing. It's Tua's franchise, man. But yeah, you got to feel for Fitz. And you know why? Because he's the consummate pro. And every team he's been on, everybody loves this guy. The Harvard dude. Everybody loves this guy. He's nuts. He's a competitor. And he slings it. If you're a receiver, you love him. But we also know that Ryan Fitzpatrick has this cycle, right? Has anybody seen the meme? Your starter's not playing well. This is a different situation. But the meme is like the starter doesn't play well. Fitz comes in, balls out, right? And then it takes a turn. And then he's out. He's on to his next team. Somehow finds his way on the field. Hoops. And I think what Miami was doing in part, because you want to get the bye. I seen a comment. 100% correct. You want to have some time to kind of get ready for the next opponent. But my fault. But with Fitz, it's like you knew he wasn't gonna be this the whole season. You have over a decade of a sample size to tell you he's not going to be this the whole season. And are you really going to roll with this guy who's not your guy? Fitz is not your guy. You're going to roll the dice on this guy in this division when it's up for grabs. I understand they hand it to a rookie who's never had meaningful snaps, who had no preseason, who had no offseason. I understand that that's a risk. And maybe that gives you less of a chance to get to the playoffs. But if you want to put it in anybody's hands, do you want to put it in the hands of the guy that you picked 5th overall? or the guy who's not going to be here next year. Let Tua cut his teeth. Because what's happening in the AFC East right now doesn't look like it's an anomaly. It looks like the Patriots dynasty is over. They're not the dominant team in this division anymore. It looks like the Bills will still be formidable and on the rise, but I think you can challenge them. So get your guy in there. He's healthy, so let's see what happens, right? It's Tua time. Does anybody object? We like Fitz as a guy, but we need Tua to get in there and get his reps and get accustomed. He looked good in his 2 snaps he had. But this is your franchise. What are you going to do? Wait till next year, see what this guy is going to do? And then go to your rookie next year? Give him a full offseason? Moving on. It's Tua time. Antonio Brown to the Buccaneers. I'm not going to touch on that right quick. I want to talk to somebody about this. Who wants to pull up? I want to talk to somebody about AB because I got feelings. I got something to say. And I know everybody else got something to say too. But what I will go to is a couple injuries before we get back to AB. The Saints. The Saints are an elite team, a contender. Michael Thomas, where you been? 3 catches, 17 yards in the first game and just been the invisible man, nowhere to be seen ever since. We knew why he didn't play last week. This week he's out with a hamstring injury. We haven't seen this guy since week 1. Best receiver in the league, we haven't seen him since week 1. Emmanuel Sanders, who probably should be getting all these touches, he should be having a Pro Bowl season, Emmanuel Sanders. He's out too. Mike Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders are out today. Joe Mixon is out today. No, he didn't sucker punch another woman and get suspended. He's just got a foot injury. He's not going to play. Sammy Watkins, also a hamstring injury again. We didn't see him last week. We're not going to see him this week either. And then Austin Hooper had an emergency appendectomy. He won't be available for Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland offense. Prayers up. But based on how Baker plays this week, it remains to be seen if Jarvis and Odell will need an emergency appendectomy as well. Baker, get it together, bro. The entire Raiders offensive line was sent home because tackle Trent Brown tested positive. It's the safe thing to do. I like it. I support that. I think it was a really smart move by John Gruden and the staff. The players that spend the most time with this guy, his positional unit, send them all home. We're playing well. We want to win. We can't afford to be missing time and have the schedule shaken up. We know what we're capable of doing. We don't want that derailed by this pandemic. There's already an asterisk on the season. We don't want to lose our team, and we want to take advantage of the situation. We got the Bucs coming to town. Send the whole offensive line home. They're all straight now, except for Trent Brown. He will not play. But the rest of the offensive line is straight. They're coming. They're playing. They're starting against Tampa in Vegas. Also out is safety Jonathan Abrams, but he wasn't playing so well anyway, so he's out. Some healthy guys. Let's talk about some guys that got off of the injury list. No injury designation at all for this week. Shout out Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones. Shout out to half of the Bucs' entire roster. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Gronk, Leonard Fournette. Nothing. No questionable. No, they're good to go. Again, in Vegas. Big game. Noah Fant. Melvin Gordon had strep. Who watched last episode? Melvin Gordon, I guess, had strep. He's feeling good. Kareem Hunt, feeling good. This man had injuries to 3 body parts. He's straight. That's help that Baker needs. And he needs more than that. Clearly. Pro Bowl, all-pro caliber skill. Good luck, Baker. A.J. Brown, look good coming back. He's straight now. Jonnu Smith, straight now. Keenan Allen, no more back spasms. Shout out to Keenan Allen. I know what that feels like, bro. I want to get into some picks. Steelers over Titans. The battle of the last unbeatens in the AFC. The Steelers I'm not exactly sold on, but I got them winning this game. It's not so easy to say you're undefeated at this point, week 7. And you're elite because you're undefeated. Your schedule has something to say about that. Obviously, the pandemic we're living in has something to say about certain things. But the Steelers are looking really great. Now I got them winning this game. Steelers over Titans. Cowboys over the football team. Bills over the Jets. Saints over the Panthers, even though the Saints have nobody catching the ball. Let's see if Marcus Colston comes out of retirement for a day. 1-day contract. Green Bay over Houston. I feel bad for Houston, man. Like, Bill O'Brien shot you in the foot, got fired, and then he's gone, but your schedule's rough now. They lose to Green Bay today. Cleveland over Cincinnati, I hope, for the season sweep. I got the Falcons over the Lions. I think that's going to be a good game. Bucks over the Raiders. That got moved to 4 o'clock. Was originally Sunday Night Football. I got the Chargers over the Jags. I got the Niners over the Patriots. I do. Chiefs over the Broncos. The Seahawks over the Cardinals is now your Sunday Night Football matchup. And I got the Rams over the Bears and a toss-up. I don't even know what the Bears are, but they look good. That's Monday Night Football. The Washington football team will remain the Washington football team. They won't be changing to the Red Hawks or the Red Tails or anything like that. The president came out and said, after 87 years, they changed from the racist name they had before to a quick rebrand. Obviously. It's kind of embarrassing where they're at with the name of the team. But you know what? You play ball and you forget all about it. WFT. Hail to the WFT. Look at the LA logo. Trash. But we're playing ball and nobody's really talking about it. Nobody cares about it. Washington football team. Whatever. The joke's over. Let's keep playing ball. But think about the time and energy, and not just the money, the time and energy that goes into a full rebrand. We're talking about the tarps that are over the side of the stadium. We're not just talking merch. We're talking about like cups in the stadium. We're talking about little details everywhere. God forbid you change the color scheme. You gotta change the whole stadium up. So it's just easier for them to bite the bullet. Like, we'll be the butt of your joke. We have been. We can't win games. And we're going to stay the football team. And I support that. I mean, what are you going to do? No matter what new name they would pick, it would look Bush League. It would look intramural. The Washington Red Wolves, no matter what logo, it could be the dopest, but it still would look like some UFL, XFL stuff. True or false? All right. I stalled long enough. Antonio Brown has been signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a base salary of $1 million with incentives which would kick in if and only if the Bucs were to make the playoffs. He has incentives for catches, yards, and touchdowns that could bring him up to about $2.5 million. And on the face of it, I'm like, all right, well, this guy would need to be responsible and humble and a team player, and they would have to win for him to get the money that he's getting. This guy's worth more than 2.5, but we know his history. So this is how he got back in the league. What I'm confused about, Arians doesn't like this guy. They worked together before. And this guy's got criminal charges. Nothing is stuck. This guy's got criminal charges. He commissions an artist to come into his house, sexually assaults her, allegedly. He's throwing furniture out of his top floor apartment, almost hits kids on the sidewalk, allegedly. The movers that came to, I don't know if they're repoing or what, but he assaulted some of them. That's his most recent charge, allegedly. At King Alcide, got it perfectly correct. Brady the Bully. Tom Brady the Bully. Brady came in and said, I'm going to need Gronk. They said, who? I said, yeah, I can get him out of retirement. Gronk? I need that guy, and I need Antonio. They said, Antonio who? Gates? How many tight ends you want? He said, no. I need Antonio Brown. Arians said, chill with that. And in March, he said, there's no room. It's not a good fit. We don't have the money. And now here we are. We're winning games. Your receivers are banged up. But like I said, no injury designation anymore. If Evans was out for 4 weeks, if Godwin was out for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, I get the move. But where is AB going to play? Is he your slot guy now? Godwin was your slot guy. Is he out wide? Is he your number one guy? When you think about AB, you think 1,500 yards, 100 catches, and 15 touchdowns. And how is he going to do that? Obviously, in limited time, we're not expecting those numbers, but we're expecting those targets extrapolated. There wasn't enough to go around to the people on the squad right now. He's a guy who can take the top off of the offense, but Scotty Miller was doing that on a rookie contract and was developing. They got guys developing, so I don't understand the need. However, you want to talk about all in. You want to talk about all in. This is a guy who's been the best receiver in the league, the best receiver of his generation, of this decade, right? Numbers say it. Is he going to be a distraction? Of course. But winning gets rid of all of that. The Patriot way that apparently Tom Brady has brought down to Tampa with them pushes all that to the side. And if they can win this week, it's just like, all right, bro, come on. Like, you know what we're doing. Let's just keep doing it. If they lose, it turns into like, okay, well, where do we fall short and what's he going to do? God forbid Mike Evans or Chris Godwin has less than 4 catches today. Each. AB's coming to eat. He's coming to eat. And he's going to take those targets away. Fantasy-wise, it's not looking good for those two guys. Real life, it's not looking good for those two guys. Because if AB balls, you think they're just going to say, nah, it'll be like, Tom's here one more year. What you got? Gronk, are you good for one more go? If you can add a guy of that caliber and kind of figure things out, this could be exciting. And mind you, let's remember, Bruce Arians is only here for 2 years. Tom Brady's only here for 2 years. They're going to blow this thing up with this young roster. And it's going to be pretty ugly. But for the next 2 years, I guess it's a move that says, let's build the best roster on paper, put the best guys on the field, and let's see if we can get the best product. As a fan of football, I'm scared about the possibilities here. Tell me why it's not going to work. Does he need 10 targets? Russ vouched for this guy. Remember? Tom vouched for this guy. Remember? Is he humble? Because these conversations you can have when you're working out with a guy like Russ and TB12, just vibing in the lab, putting in the work. Those conversations and that chemistry that you build, it's going to be all good. It's going to be let's go get a smoothie and chill after the throw around. He's not going to come through with a stylist and an entourage and all this kind of stuff. He's not going to come through yelling at a quarterback when he's trying to get back into the league. No. And he could work. Anybody that knows AB knows he works. So, of course, these guys are going to vouch for him. But once he gets into the locker room and once he gets out onto the field, playing with 2 Pro Bowl receivers, and he's getting 5 looks, not 5 catches, 5 looks a game. Is that enough for a guy like that? Right? Is that enough? And if you're only getting 5 looks and Evans drops 2 passes and Godwin isn't breaking one loose, who's the oldest guy? Who's the most accomplished guy in that wide receiver room now? It doesn't matter if Mike Evans is the face of your franchise outside of your quarterback, and has been since he was a rookie, darn near. AB's going to come in and he's going to talk. We've seen this with Deshaun Jackson when he came to town. Mike Evans was like, "Yeah, I'm listening. You're the vet. You've been a guy that produced some things. I'm worried about the friction, but you can't worry about the talent. It's incredible." So let's see what it turns into. It seems like a video game. These all-star teams, these super teams in football seem to never work. But man, I'm liking it. We are approaching that magical time where you got 5 minutes to go set your lineups. I'm not there yet, though. I just want to make one more point. We're in another magical time of the year. We are approaching the trade deadline. Who's going to be traded? Matt Ryan? What kind of compensation do you get for a quarterback in a trade? A starting quarterback? I don't see it. Sam Darnold? Same story. I know Josh Rosen moved around, but he was being acquired and compensated for upon potential. Potential. Sam Darnold, you know what he's going to do. So what are you going to get for that? Who else? Julio Jones. Why do you do that? Why would you do that? Because you want to blow things up and start over? Why do you start over? To build a really good roster to help you get to the bowl. He's the guy. He's the guy that can get you there. He stays. He's got to stay. Because he's still elite. Where are you going to send Julio and expect to get fair compensation back? What? They sold the farm in the draft to move up and get him. And it probably wasn't enough because he's overproduced. This guy is... You know who Julio is. Free OBJ. I see it. Free OBJ. Where do you want him, though? Anywhere? Just away from Baker? Let me call Tommy up. TB12. You got room for one more? Yeah, incentive-laden deal. Odell, you heard of him? I'm playing. I would love to see Odell somewhere else. In a pass-happy offense. I would love to see Odell do some crazy things. Because we know what he's capable of. The talent is there. Green Bay? Where you at? Philly? Make a move. Here we are. 5 minutes. NFL Sunday starts in 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to set your lineup. You have 5 minutes to order that pizza and get your wings. 5 minutes. It's about to go down. If you got the Sunday ticket, RIP to your pockets. If you got the red zone, it's 7 hours of commercial-free NFL football. If you're watching the local games, enjoy. If you got to get it the ski mask way, I respect that too. Get your NFL. But you got 5 minutes to handle your biz before you sit in the divot in the couch that you made all these years. I appreciate everybody for coming through. I appreciate everybody for participating. Big news this week. Big matchups this week. You also got 5 minutes to get into the designated report fantasy football pick'em. If you pick more winners than us, you get a prize. And we do that every week. And we do this every week. This is the warm-up on Designated Report, Instagram Live. We will catch you next week. Reach out to Designated Report. Let us know, what do you want to hear next week? Let's collab. Maybe we do an artist series. I'm so blessed to be here and share this time with you. Get your life right. It's all football today. I'll see you guys next week, 12:30 p.m., a half hour before the games. Every Sunday, IG Live at Designated Report. This is the warm-up. Peace.